everybody, and welcome back to SBRpicks.com. The NCAA Tournament is underway. We had Selection Sunday this past weekend. We've got the play-in games going on Tuesday and Wednesday, but right now we're going to talk about that good stuff, the round of 64 starting on Thursday. And right now we're going to focus in on that East Division. It's a really tough division here, but here to talk it all over with me is the best in the business, Mr. Dave Golikoff. Dave, how are you doing today in this exciting week in the world of college basketball?
Oh, it feels like Christmas is only a couple days away.
I know exactly how you're feeling here. Great. So, speaking of Christmas, let's talk about this 8 versus 9 matchup. It's pretty exciting seeding spot. It's definitely the most competitive of the games in this round of the tournament. And in the East Division, we've got the A seed being NC State taking on 9th seed LSU. Now, LSU gave Kentucky quite a scare during the season, so what do you think? Can we expect to see that level of play from them in this particular matchup against the Wolfpack?
I don't think you can expect anything from LSU. I mean, this is a team that could win by 30 or lose by 30, and it doesn't even matter who they're playing. They could be playing Kentucky or they could be playing the Lafayette Leopards. This is a team that has talent, and they have a couple of good guys on the inside that can be a real problem if they get going. That's why, I mean, I've heard some people say LSU is a sleeper for maybe even the Final Four. I mean, that's not the craziest thing I've heard, but at the same time, it is one of the craziest things I've heard because it's a team is so rapidly inconsistent. They did push Kentucky about as far as you can push them this season. I think that's about as close as Kentucky got to a loss. They also won at Arkansas, and they also won at West Virginia. But then they also had a number of head-scratching losses, including the one to Auburn, blowing a big lead to Auburn in the SEC tournament. It just, you know, this team is so wildly inconsistent. In this spot, they're going up against another team that's pretty much the same as them. They're wildly inconsistent too. So I think it's kind of a pick your own poison in this spot. But if you look at Jarrell Martin and the other big man that they have, Jordan Mickey, if those guys get going, that's really what you're banking on with LSU. You're expecting those two guys to really carry them, play consistently and carry them to a win here in this spot.
Now let's talk about this NC State team. They really surprised us this season and turned up the heat at the end of the year here, advancing themselves 4 seedings since their 12th seeding in last season's tournament. Dave, give us a rundown on some of the strengths you see with this Wolfpack squad going into their game with LSU this Thursday.
Wolfpack are pretty much similar to LSU. They're an up and down team. You know, they've had their fair share of struggles at times throughout the year. You know, losing to Wake Forest, Clemson, your favorite Miami. But they've also had some good performances. They beat Duke. They lost by 2 to North Carolina. Took Notre Dame to overtime. Lost by 4 to Virginia, beat Louisville, beat North Carolina in the second meeting. So I think it's sort of the same bag of tricks between NC State and LSU. Are you betting the team that beat Louisville at Louisville by 9 points? Are you betting the team that you know, that had one of those head-scratching losses at home, like the one by 11 at home to Clemson? So that's the real concern here. I'm leaning towards North Carolina State just because I think they're playing a little bit better down the stretch of the season. But in general, you know, these are two teams that are wildly inconsistent, and it's more of a pick your own poison or pick your own preference here than anything else.
All right, so here we are, 8 versus 9, NC State versus LSU Tigers. Which side are you laying the points on with this one, Dave? The spread is -2.5, North Carolina State, the odds favorite in this one.
I'm going to go with North Carolina State. I think they're a little bit more balanced than LSU. I think they're the team that's playing a little bit better coming down the stretch, winning 6 of their last 8 games to end the year. But again, it's more of a pick your own poison type of game. I think nothing highlights that more than the fact that LSU's covered 9 of 11 against teams with the winning record. NC State has covered 8 of 13 against teams with a winning record. That just shows you that when they play decent teams, both of these teams tend to get up for it, but then they play lousy teams. They also play to the level of competition there. So this might be one of the more unpredictable round 1 games, but I'm going to go with NC State here.
All right, then, there you have it, guys. Take the favorites to cover the number in this one, NC State. You heard it first from pro handicapper Dave Golikoff. Dave, thanks again for hanging out with us today and offering your free picks.
All righty.
All right, guys, good luck in your picks this week. And until next time, this is Megan Rochester for SBRpicks.com.